Like, it shouldn't be too hard. It should be basic attention. What you give is what you get. Don't worry about having too much things to focus on. Just do what you can. Don't worry about the rest. You call out to yourself because you want to place yourself in a idea, into something, and that's not always functional. It's not always relatable. Sometimes it is, I'm not gonna lie, but the times when it's not is more. The more times when it's not than when it is. So just focus on what you can do, one thing at a time. It doesn't break your sense of understanding. The thing that you know is true. It doesn't break it. It is always functional in that sense. It works. So placing yourself into an idea, into a thing that makes your characterization of yourself more difficult to understand or to pronounce is like committing to something you don't want to commit to. So you're putting yourself in a strange place for yourself. And keep some kind of incongruency with your thinking. Your being and your thinking, they are not together, they're not coherent with one another. So, looking into things, noticing that the deeper you go, the more fine you are. It becomes substantial, relatable. The things that you do, you see them more clearly, purposefully so. It doesn't happen just because you're moving along a similar path as you used to. So you can be correcting your thinking that, oh, this is where I'm supposed to go because this is where I always go. No, not necessarily so. You might need to move to a different area, different space, something more mysterious, because that's where you haven't looked. As a seeker, you might come to the point where it's difficult. It's difficult to move on. You're going through, you're going towards and into your inner space, being introspective, going deeper in, finding out that there's a lot of things that you don't understand. So you want to put labels on everything. Don't. Just experience it. Your intuitive ability will tell you what is what and what is not. It won't be in words. It won't be in thoughts. It will be as you experience things, it will be more and more pronounced, more noticeable. That you being introspective, your inner world is being relatable to your outer world. So it's not a struggle. It's quite easy when you don't try to think your way through the process. Thinking is dealt for other things. It's done for other things. Not for this. The mistake we make is we put our mind first and not our body. When it comes to experiential things, be more physical, not mental. I mean, you see yourself, don't you? Practicing mindfulness, practicing meditation, being aware. It's not like it's going to hold you back. Thinking. It has its use. But this is not it. Here it is, in the background, taking up space in the background, while you are in the driver's seat. It can be in the back seat. And what are you, or who are you, comes to the forefront when the thinking is in the background. And it's quite ineffable to say exactly what or who you are. Ineffable. But it's known. You're aware. To all of the processes that goes through you. You are aware in a subtle way. In the form of no mind. So that when you experience life, it's beautiful. Not beautiful because you say it is. It's actually beautiful because you're quiet, just experiencing it. You experience that. You might want to be poetic in your description of it, putting words into it. That's not wrong. You can try, but you'll quickly notice that the more words you utter, the further away from it you come. But the words can point towards the right direction, but they can't take you to the exact place. No. Just point towards it. It's over there somewhere. If that's what you need. For others, it can be a little bit different. They might find that immediately they wake up to it with no difficulty. It's just obvious. As soon as they hear the word be present, it's obvious. They just hadn't thought about it, they just weren't aware of it before. Because it's nothing that has ever left you. It's always been here, the only thing real. Where everything else is an illusion. An illusion on top of it, not an illusion instead of it. No, because that is the foundation, the fundamental, primordial being. So it doesn't take much. It only takes allowing yourself to let go, to release. What happens to a lot of people when they start letting go, when they start releasing, is they go through something called the dark night of the soul, where they go through trials, which may seem like they will never end. Which gives some people a feeling of being psychotic or depressed, anxious, and other ailments related to that. And the way through it is just moving forward. You might lose some friends. You might feel alienated from your family or society at first. That's why you can prepare time to be alone. When you meditate, when you practice mindfulness, when you look into the spiritual matters of life. I've sought this out, and it was when I stopped looking that it was obvious that it was here. Kind of funny when you don't go outside of yourself to find something, you'll notice that there was nothing to find. You struggled because you thought you needed to. But why? Why would you need to? It was already given. It is written. You don't have to write it out. Paulo Coelho, in the book The Alchemist, explored the topic of maktub, which means it's written. This is what I'm talking about. You need not do anything. Because it is. Just release the tension. Be present. And move along. As you always have. I'll search into the idea of believing. Look into it. See what I can find. And present it here. Just as I am. Because you might find out that what you do is more aligned with you than what you think. Even though the thoughts might be easier to explain, since that's really what they do, they keep explaining things. To me, that is reducing things to a word or a sentence. Life is grander than that, a word or a sentence. But within philosophy, you might find that you give meaning to life by uttering the right words. This is a different way. It's when you stop looking for meaning. I'm not saying that there is none. You may find you may find something more than what you are looking for. Discover that you have something more they could ever find. Personally, I'm beginning to see, beginning to notice the difficulty in expression of oneself. Seeking to listen to things in a different way, in a different manner. Telling myself that it has its own quality of thought, quality of being. Sensing that not necessarily is it so. It has its own way and its own point. You need not do anything. Break free from the mold that you have molded. You've sculpted yourself to be this idea, this thing. Instead of just being as you are. The topic of no mind comes up. Practicing that and seeing, what does that give you? No mind. What is it? It's the opposite of mind. Mind I define as the thinking process. Just chattering. Keep on chattering. It does. I have the idea that if I make do with what I have, what I attract will be in accordance to what I have, or what I am, as I am. I won't be needy, telling myself that I'm in lack. No, instead, what I'm saying is that I'm in abundance. Not really thinking it, and actually not really uttering it in words, just being aware of it. Abundance. No need to find things outside, but you may attract things outside. You'll be open to the experience of finding things outside because of curiosity, of interest, of wanting to share what you have, not wanting to take. Because you feel like you are enough. Self love. I figure as I sense that there's a directionality within me. My intuitive process is moving forward into Next, by being here, present, I can clear out the thoughts that keep me distracted from what is life. I'm going through the motions, witnessing my every action. Question becomes, who is acting? Is it me? Or am I simply observing behind the reaction? Being spontaneous to what happens is a more giving thing. If you discover it, you'll know that you can witness and act in the immediate moment. This immediate moment. Because you're abundant. You need nothing else. You're not afraid of it. You don't dislike it. You simply want to share in it. Share of you, not take. So call out. Really call out to your inner fire. Be energized by it. Let that be your guiding light. If I sense that I have the necessary thoughts to explore the difficulty in making things obvious for others, I'll give myself the chance to be in it until it feels uncomfortable, and then some more. Making it natural for me to be in that space. Not forcing anything, just staying. In what might look like some type of inaction, but it is simply not. Hmm. I don't hold out because I want to make things more difficult for you. No. There's steps one needs to take to be more clear headed, to be more aware. One thing that helps, which is an actual thing, is going through fasting. water fast. It nurtures you to not eat spiritually. Though, if you go on to go through that, you might have to look it up and see if your body can take it. By, for example, asking a doctor. Go through some tests and find out. So I had something happen to me recently. I went out and, as normal, I explored reality with other people by being present and sharing in my experience with them. People that I didn't know who they were, as much as I could. And obviously I can do more. But it's a thing of practice. The more you do, the more inclined you are to do more. It just becomes natural, a habit. It's quite fun too. Exploring your social skills and seeing how they develop. You move forward thinking that what you have is something that you can share, something nice, like giving candy or something sweet, like a present, a gift. If you think that you're bothering people, that you are a bother, that will be felt. That energy will be felt by others. And that frame that you frame things to be, they will take up that frame and believe it. But if you have a positive frame, like you're giving something nice, you're sharing in something nice and you want to share it with them, then that will be taken instead. That frame. And that's a more helpful frame for everyone involved. People like to talk to people that are energized, that are interested, that are fun to be around. And if you're self amused, that is, you find yourself funny and you amuse yourself, make sure that you're happy by yourself and are smiling. That's infectious. Others will feel it too. Oh, this is a person that is not needy, happy with themselves. They're here to share an experience instead. And that's always a fun thing. So, in actuality, there's not a lot of people that you would be bothering if you're in that state, a state of self amused. It's quite relatable to others. Some people yearn it. Sure, there will be some that you will bother, but though they are very, very few. And that shouldn't be a reason for you to not go out and approach people and socialize or network if that's what you want to do. Maybe find a commonality, something you can work together on. It can be more than just an experience, but it should at least be an experience of joy, I think. An interesting experience. And as I said before, the more you do it, easier it gets. You feel it here, inside, that you're not struggling anymore. You're just out there doing what you are doing, being approachable and approaching. Because the person that is enjoying themselves is very approachable. Yeah, very. So if you enjoy yourself as you are, with nothing else needed, and you go out to share, it's a good thing. It's a positive thing. People enjoy it. I know I enjoy whenever I meet someone who has a lot of energy or is very joyful as they are. So why wouldn't others? Wouldn't you? But usually it's because you're thinking too much. But forget that. Thoughts will come and go. Actions can still be taken, even when you have thoughts coming and going. Don't let the thoughts you have about yourself or other people define you or them. Just take action. Go out there and explore the world together. Explore this experience together. Find out what you want, what you truly want, and what you believe in. Ask the real questions and be open to what you might hear. Also, be vulnerable. Sharing what difficulty you might have is very relatable. Shows that you're human, that you're sharing that you're sharing that with others. Small talk can be good now and then, but we're really looking for something more, aren't we? It's not bad as practice in the beginning to just open up with small talk. But don't stay there. Continue on. Don't stay there at all. Just continue. And you'll find more and more interest in both yourself and others because you're doing something that we all find fun. A deep experience of life.